This is the Kansas State Association of Fire Chiefs with a member training video, and this covers administrative overview if you have those administrative privileges. We're going to cover the administrative access, how to do that, the difference between a member database and in contacts, web page, just a general overview of how it works, how to get to help, and we'll jump right in. So when you log in to KSAFC.org up here, and you're logged in, if you have administrative privileges, you will see this button in the upper right corner. When you click on that button, it takes you into the administrative pages. So, quickly, you might say, well, what other things do administrative privileges have? Here's what you have as a limited administrator. You can create contacts and modify if there was something you could fix. Remember, members can fix their own stuff by going to their profile. You can send emails. They call that the newsletter manager. And you can edit the website. Currently, you all can edit any part of it. At some point, we'll probably nail it down to selected pages. But that's that. The other thing you might want to look at, if you go to the wildapricot.com and go to features, you can see the features of our system, and they'll take you through it. But you can see them here, and I'm not going to go through them, but feel free to go there and look it over. So we'll jump back in. Remember, this upper right corner, public view, you click that, you're back on the public page, what you can see. Administrative view, you're behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, on the left, is the key here that above this line has to do with our contacts and membership database. Below the lines is the website, your profile, and your stuff right here, and how to get to help. So let's just go through quickly. This is an overview. This is the dashboard. I don't use the dashboard much. I actually go into everything the dashboard provides is in here in a better layout. But this is a quick overview if you're interested in it. So let's talk about the difference between contacts and members. Everybody in our system is a contact, but not everybody in our system is a member of our organization. So we're going to go through members or contacts real quick and talk a little bit about that and how it works. So here are all our contacts, and we'll just do a narrow it down. In the simple search, I typed in user, and I'm using a user profile that mimics a administrative, just like an executive board member. You can do advanced searches. Takes a little work. You can add criteria and you search, and you could search out things. And then I have some saved searches. As example, the ones here, like if their emails are disabled, which means that there's a problem with their email, typically I'll run these. But simple search is what I usually do. So we'll go into well, let's talk about all the things up here. You had advanced search, save search, they're down here also. Import. Import is so you could take a spreadsheet, take a large group of members, say you're going to add 20 members at a time. I could populate a spreadsheet and import them without having to build them individually. Save a ton of time. And contact fields. These are the fields you will see that we build to collect your information. So let's just open up a contact. So here's a contact. From this contact, I can go look at financial transactions. You could also go here and search for it, but if you're looking for a particular person, you click right here. It'll take you into anything they've done, and there'll be a list down here if they've done anything. So we'll jump back. So here are the details. You can edit those. You all have the ability to edit these. The member also has the ability to edit, and I always ask them to log in and do any editing. But if it was something simple and I'm available and I'm right here, I'll do it for them. So it talks up some general stuff up here. Your email, tied to the system, last login, last time you updated your profile. Same thing here last time. You updated your profile, your first, last name, middle name. We added that for guys like John Paul Jones, as an example, who uses his name that way. Address, zip, standard stuff. These are all fields we set up initially. We've added your department, agency, or special fields. Position or title is a field we added, and your county. We use the county because in the contact, we do not put your district. That is in a membership field. So you'll see that, but the county helps us assign the proper district. Website manager, I showed you there's other things, but these are the things you have privileges to if you look at yourself, and internal use stuff. A non-member relationship and membership cleanup. Membership cleanup is my personal thing I use when I'm trying to clean up our database, and it'll probably go away at some point. But non-member relationship, I just want to show you, this is only for contacts. And you can go in here if we wanted to build a vendor and mark somebody as vendor only, and you wanted to send an email to just conference vendors, you could do that. As an example, the way I'm working on right now is we want to put, Lester wants to put in members of his district that are not members of our organization. So we're going to import some contacts through the import piece, and we'll mark them as non-member relationship, district sick, not a member. And that way you'll see when we do the email portion, you would be able to email just those people. And as an example, say, hey, we'd like you to join. Or you want to do things to members and non-members and cover your whole district, we can do that. Or anybody that you want to include in your group from the system. And there's a reason why if you send them from the system, you gain some things, and we'll show you that. Once you've done that basic stuff, and they do this when they sign up, then we go into the membership. It's a little different. Doesn't cover the basic details. Covers your level, your status, member since. We don't use this. It's in here. It's automatically populated, but it's not current. We don't try to make it current because we don't know the records for many of them. It could be current for new members. Next time your renewal due, last time you changed your renewal, if there was something done, if I did something, if I adjusted, sometimes there's issues that I'll adjust it. A level last changed, that's this level up here, your membership level. And then this comes from the contacts, these fields. You can go in and edit these things, suspend a member, which basically is in effect. I don't really suspend anybody because if you suspend them, it stops the ability for them to contact. We either archive them and get rid of them, or we push them to renew. Bundles, if you're in a group, it'll show up here, and I'll show you an example of that in a moment. And then this is the only one we actually get in. I have to go into every member and do this. If you're a board member, I add you to this group. These will end up being email groups, and why it's important. Test group, if I'm building a test group and I want to send it to just a bunch of test users, I could add you in this group temporarily or permanently. And then your district. We used to allow members when we first set it up to do this, but they couldn't figure it out half the time, and they messed it up. So we actually go in and assign this now, and there's actually a report that I run in the Save Report says who's a member that's has a district assigned, and we do that quite regularly. Events. If you went through signed up for an event, it would be here. This user hasn't. Donations, if you made any, it would show up here. Email settings and log. This is important. When I talked about why you might want to send from here, here's an example. Well, let's just do that. When you send an email, when we go to communications and do that section on a separate video, you'll see this. But you can go look at that member. We're looking at this test. These are all the emails they've received from the system. Tells whether it was delivered or not. If it wasn't delivered, it'll show up here as an issue, which is good. That way you know if they're not receiving emails, or they say they're not. You're like, well, it was delivered. If they clicked on any links down here, a link was clicked. Choose a new password when I set this temporary user up. And if they open the email, so you can see this test user hasn't opened this. And if you see somebody that hasn't opened an email in a year, but they've been delivered, usually that's when I'm like, why? And then we'll try to figure it out. But that's one way. It's if I had district people doing this, it'd be easy for them to follow up. Privacy, this just tells if we had some, we don't use all this stuff, but if we did some internal member directories, which we could build it and say, who is a member of this, and let anybody in our group see who they are. They couldn't do anything. We would, this is what we would show. Or if we set up blogs and forums, do that. Photos, we don't use photos in this piece of it for the members, but if we did, you could do that. So that's sort of the quick thing to do that. Let me go look at a bundle member here real quick. We'll just use Brian. If you go look at his membership, you can see here he is a bundle member. The coordinator is Wendy. She gets all the emails for this. She is in our system, and when you look at her, she is when I go in and set up contact details, if I clicked on her, you'll see she's a bundle administrator. But if I go click on Ryan again, you can see these are all the people in his bundle. They have 13. They've used 12, so they actually have an open one right now. So that's how bundles work. Let's just go back. And let's talk about finances. You can go look at all anybody's invoices, go in, drill in. A lot of times I'll look at the member rather than this, but important thing to do is you've got to make sure this is what you want, and you have to hit apply. Sometimes I couldn't find invoices for somebody, I didn't apply it. So like I say, a lot of times I'll just go to members or contacts, I should say, and once I'm in contacts, I'll go to financial transactions up here. Communications. We'll do a separate email on this, but this is how we have templates, base templates, and we have a log. And I showed you the log of an individual, but I could also go in here and show you the log of, and this is all emails. And so this was a manual email that Ryan sent, and we'll look at it here just for the fun of it. So when you go into the communication piece, I can see that 100% of them were delivered. Nobody failed. If they did fail, I could go see who didn't get it. 61% of them have opened it. 20% have clicked links, and it's actually a link that didn't work, so that's interesting. But you can go in here and look, and we could see who actually got them delivered, and see what links, if there were multiple links, what they've clicked on and who clicked on it. And then you could go here, and once again, you could see what they've clicked on. So if they clicked on some of those links at the bottom, you could see that. So we'll spend a little more time there. Settings, once again, I think I mentioned this, but there's nothing here you would really do. But there are some new things. There's a new poll email out that is a new setting that I haven't studied yet, but it's an option. And then we'll quickly now go into the website portion. And just when you get in the website, you'll see the left-hand thing has changed. You'll see different things up here. I'm not going to go through all these. Typically, I spend all my time in site pages, which is if you do anything, you would do it here. And just remember, this takes you back to the main menu that you're here, and then website takes you right back in. Menu pages, at this top, everything below pages not a menu are things I'm working on, things I've had, things we've deleted, or taken down, or if I'm trying to try something new, that's here. And then you can expand these. These match up to here. So if you go to About, for example, if I quit clicking on it, About Executive Board Appointments Fire Chief, they're over here, About Executive Board Appointments Fire Chief. So that's how web pages work. It's pretty straightforward, but web pages are not hard to maintain. It's just getting content from people. So just to tell you how we built the web page, it's got home, just our main page. We put a splash area that takes information from the jobs page, is where we can add a post. We have some, and in the jobs page only, we have permanent posts down here, but we can add post here, and then it'll automatically take the top and link it here. You can click these and go in. This is where I put information. We could have tons of information, our latest things we put up. Upcoming events the same way. When you go to conference events, anything we had here, if we built a thing to show the next conference, it would show up on this splash page. These are things that I put here we could get rid of, but currently we have them this way. Upcoming events, I've thought about taking that out, putting other things in, but the other things we have down here are links to IFC in Missouri Valley if you wanted to join us on the front page. And then we've added our new Facebook page down here. And I'm still working with this, but you can click here. Got 139 followers. So About, once again, it's just about us. Our mission updated, and then what we approved in 2018, a leader's intent member, things we said to put on the webpage. Our executive board, you guys could go in here and modify this. The only thing I ask is that you use the proper font. And because I go in and look and I'll see people will put different things in. And I'm just trying to make it look professional is all I care about. Appointments. This is where we keep track of if I know statutes and where appointments are coming from. It's here. Who we have here. It's as current as I know, but I don't know a lot of them. Fire Chief of the Year stuff. If you wanted to do a Fire Chief of the Year, here's how to do it. And contact. That's just how to get a hold of me if you had an issue with it. Membership, once again, if you want to join or renew, you can go in here and click one of these. If you're renewing, if you're individual, if you're a new group, it's all here. Here's the options. One of the things I forgot to point out in the executive board, I didn't go down, but if you roll down under executive board, there's a map. You could also see the counties. I just added this a while back to help. So if you wanted to know who's in your district, here it is. Like I say, I just added that in that format. Conference options, these were 2023. I haven't taken them down yet. I've just sort of left it. But here's our options. District and section news. These are an area where you could post things from your district and link them to here, for example. You have the ability to go do that. We haven't worked with this much, but I've really the only one that's done anything, but you have the ability to do it. Documents and resources, strategic plan, bylaws, your resources. And then as I build these videos, we're putting those here. Member login videos as an example. Members only store, this link only shows up if you're logged in. If you're on the public page, I'll click back to public view. Well, here because I'm logged in and I have the ability. But in the public view, it would go away. I should have jumped into a different user. So anyway, but if you click the store link, it takes you to an outside thing and lets you, it's just a link to the store. They could get to this. If they knew the link, they could go other ways. But and then the jobs and then photos. I'm working on putting some photos on the front page, and I have a lot of photos to upload. I just haven't uploaded many of them. So that's our web page. Pretty straightforward. The hardest part is just when you go in and do things, how to modify things, and we'll do that. So I'm going to take you back. Once again, here's our setup, and it'll allow you to jump around, and then we'll actually build training videos to go in each of these, primarily for the things you need. Email will be the main one, and how to work with contacts and members maybe a little more in depth. Other than that, and then the website eventually for people that need to do something. So I appreciate your time, and look forward to working with anybody that needs help.